Hello, hello, and welcome back to Temptations Ballad. Artemi's having a good time, isn't she? Artemi returned to their viewing booth to find it utterly empty. Her post-jousting excitement popped like a balloon, and she glanced around for her friends. Where did Sir Sid and Cole go? I hope they managed to watch my jousting match, despite how quick it was. Oh, oh, there you are. Welcome back. What a thrill you were in the arena. That was worth the price of tickets alone. Artemi perked up to see Agatha beaming at her from the back of the booth. The old bat clapped her hands with a giddy laugh. So, that is the power of the creators chosen. Truly impressive. Oh, thank you, ma'am. You flatter me. Have you seen my friends anywhere? Your friends? The Bonebreaker boy snuck off before your joust began. And the buff badger ran towards the western wing to prepare for his brawling match. Artemi's shoulders sagged. They both left without a word. Of course Cole would leave before even watching my joust. Well, I hope Sir Sid is feeling better, at the very least. He can rest assured that the colder fellow will bother him no longer. Agatha wiped her glasses with a sympathetic frown. Well, I can't fault the O'Shaughnessy boy too much. He's the perfect product of the noble's obsession with status and power. House O'Shaughnessy built their entire relevance off of the strength of their family bloodline. There are rumors that they were willing to put their children through risky experiments to increase their magical potential. Alas, only Gaius O'Shaughnessy's children are gone now. Oh, yeah. And all that's left is Colder, his sole grandchild, and the boy's magical strength is mediocre at best. I can't imagine the pressure he's under. Agatha sighed and shook her head warily. Children should not be made and used for the selfish wants of their parents. Artemi bit her lip thoughtfully. I suppose I can sympathize with his situation. However, none of this excuses his cruel actions towards my friends. Our decisions are wholly our own, and we must take responsibility for them. Spoken like a true knight of the church. However, you must concede that the way a person is raised would undoubtedly affect their values and decisions. Agatha's eyes narrowed. You would know this personally, wouldn't you? Huh? Just an observation, dear. If you would forgive my, what is this word? Secular mindset, I've never put much stock in the whole chosen one hubbub. Artemi fidgeted uncomfortably under the bat's steely gaze. There is a large section of the scientific community who believes that the creator's chosen, is a naturally occurring phenomenon. I personally theorize that it is property of how a celestial energy reacts to living organisms. Of course, the church is quick to brush off our research, but it is a sentiment shared by many. If we take the so-called creator out of the equation, I can't help thinking as I look upon you, dear chosen one. Agatha's glasses twinkled with a fascinated grin. All that raw celestial energy, how might it be harnessed? And has it ever been wrongfully manipulated in the past? Artemi felt an uncomfortable lump grow in her throat. She frowned at the Arcanist as she struggled to swallow it back down. I respect our, difference in viewpoints, ma'am. However, I have faith that the Creator has a plan for us yet. She would not bestow her blessing upon those who are not fit to wield it. I see. Then I hope for your sake that you are correct. Their conversation was interrupted by a small knock on the side of their booth. A little servant popped their head in and saluted nervously at Artemi. Hello. Sorry to interrupt, Lady, Gautier, but I bring a message for you. Lady Osmia would like to speak with you regarding your boon. The boon you won from the jousting tournament. Lady Osmia bids you meet her in the Eastern Meeting Tower at your earliest convenience. I see. I will go at once. She turned towards Agatha with a small bow. I must be off. Apologies for the sudden departure. Nay, thank you for humoring this old woman's thoughts. I look forward to witnessing your future endeavors, Artemi Gautier. Gautier? Pronouncing things is hard. Artemi made her way up to the viewing tower with shaky steps. This would be her first time speaking to a noble. A Calder doesn't count. All of Cole's warnings about her importance and mannerisms came flooding back to her. She hoped to the heavens that she did not mess this up. One glance into the tower revealed a most empty viewing area, much to her relief. Maybe most of the nobles were on lunch break or something. Ah, I see you have arrived. Oh! Greetings, my lady. I'm at your service. Artemi attempted a clumsy curtsy that resulted in an uncomfortable metallic clang of her armor. She quickly opted to give a nervous bow instead. It is an honor to be in your company, Lady Osmia. The noble woman waved her hand dismissively. No need to be so formal. I was raised in a much more mundane lifestyle than most city nobles. Please, call me Maeve. Though her expression was unreadable, behind her veil, Maeve's eyes softened with an amused smile. There is no need to look so nervous. One would think I've just sentenced you to a horrible fate. Apologies, I've just never spoken to a noble like you before, milady. And I have yet the honor to speak with the Creator's Chosen herself. It is wonderful to finally meet you, Lady Gautier. Huh? Artemis felt her blood pressure spike as Lady Osmia bowed deeply towards her. She had never been on the receiving end of this before. Her mind completely blank as she struggled to find a response. But please, there's no need to be so formal. I am undeserving of such regard. Lady Osmia chuckled. Artemi felt strangely self-conscious in her presence. My, you are as humble as they say. It is a breath of fresh air after my dealings with all these self-important city nobles. I am glad you are the one to win the jousting tournament instead of the abrasive O'Shaughnessy fellow. As the victor, House Osmia will be happy to grant you whatever boon you desire. Now tell me, friend, what do you wish? Artemi paused, scratching her head as she pondered. Honestly, she had completely forgotten about the boon and all the chaos. Was there anything she particularly desired? No. It's best to use this boon to help her current mission. All personal wishes would have to come second. I suppose I would like to request House Osmia's aid with my current task as the Church Knight. My mission is to locate 4 missing rubies for Prince Cassius. These jewels are incredibly valuable and must be found as soon as possible. House Osmia must have a wide network of allies both within the city and in the exterior, yes? Your help would greatly increase our chances of success. Lady Osmia eyes narrowed, her veil ruffled with a tiny scoff. House Osmia's allies within the city walls are usually less than eager to aid us, but I will do my best. 4 missing rubies, you say? Her eyes scan over Artemi with a familiar, appraising manner. I had imagined the creators chosen as someone who actively labors to aid those under her care. To hear that she is instead a lapdog fetching the prince's missing jewelry, well, forgive my frankness, but I find myself slightly disappointed. You are mistaken, my lady. Artemi fidgeted nervously. We believe these rubies are likely arcane and dangerous in the wrong hands. In fact, we have run into one such villain who succeeded in stealing 2 of them. As a Church Knight, it is my duty to ensure these rubies are safely returned to their rightful place. The noble's ears twitch, and she scratches her chin thoughtfully. Arcane and dangerous, you say? Why would the royal family need such crystals? Very well. You can rest assured that House Osmia will do our utmost to aid your cause. Lady Osmia fell quiet for several moments. In the meantime, might I ask you for a small favor of my own? It happens to be working. I happen to be working on a little mission of my own. Our interests may align, and a future partnership may be mutually beneficial. Really? What is the nature of your mission? The noble let out a deep breath. House Osmia's aim is hosting the Firefly Festival is twofold. First, is to establish allies within the city walls. Unfortunately, the vast majority of the Axia nobles view us as druid savages from the exterior. Conducting business within the city has been most difficult than it should be. Secondly, we aim to investigate the origins of this fainting phenomenon that has been appearing within the city. Artemi blinked. The fainting phenomenon? I've heard Cole and Sir Wes mumble about it in passing. Maeve nodded, her eyes narrowed to deadly slits. I have a personal interest in this case. This situation is most peculiar. Masses of people passing out on the streets, as though they had been drained of life. It sounds eerily similar to the victims of the locust famine from a decade ago, though to a much less fatal degree. I believe that this fainting phenomenon may be connected to the tragedy that wiped out my family so many years ago. Or better yet, these 2 incidents may share the same perpetrator. Artemi's brows furrowed as she pondered the noblewoman's words. I don't understand. I thought the locust famine was a natural disaster of sorts. Maeve's face, veil fluttered as she let out a deep, frustrated sigh. Did the church tell you that? Contrary to popular belief, the druids of the exterior are not so defenseless against natural wrath. Our people have lived in harmony with the land and refined tradition to protect ourselves against such natural disasters. But the locust famine was no natural disease. It was a man-made scheme, no matter how hard the city tries to deny it. Locusts do not suddenly become magic resistant and drain the life out of able-bodied druids under normal circumstances. There is likely someone behind this atrocity, and I will bring them to justice. Maeve's voice shook with cold, unconcealed rage. It was a little intimidating, but Artemi could not help but feel moved by this young noble's passion. She gulped and looked up. Your dedication to justice is most admirable, Lady Osmia. I would be honored to aid you on your quest. Are there any suspects you have in mind that I should be wary of? Maeve's eyes narrowed. I'm glad you asked. Forgive my wild speculation, but the following are my honest thoughts on the matter. Did you know that Queen, Tabitha, had been ill for the majority of her reign? It was so severe that many believed she would have perished a decade ago. Strangely, immediately after the famine, where scores of my countrymen fell to life-draining locusts, the royal family happily announced that the queen's disease had gone into remission. I was still a child at the time and thought little of it, but looking back, the timing is most curious. Artemi felt her stomach drop. You cannot mean to accuse the royal family of mass murder. This must be some sort of coincidence. I accuse nothing. My life's mission is to find the source of the locust famine and bring the perpetrators to justice. My own family. I owe my family that much. If it is revealed that my suspicions are incorrect, I will happily shift my focus elsewhere. But it would be irresponsible of me to brush aside promising leads simply because it may offend the monarchy. Maeve's gaze hardened. Artemi had to fight the urge to take a step back from the noble's intense glare. As a noble knight of justice, can I count on your support in this endeavor? Or is the Creator's Chosen simply another meaningless title? Those words hit Artemi harder than she was willing to admit. She froze for a moment before bowing deeply. Of course not. It is my duty to defend my people against all evils of the world. Rest assured, Lady Osmia, that you have my full cooperation in your investigation. This is a relief to hear. You too will have House Osmia's full support in your search for the royal family's missing rubies. I suspect our missions will inevitably cross paths as we near our goals. The noble bowed her head. Thank you for lending your ear, Lady Gautier. You are dismissed. Artemi nodded before quickly dismissing herself, and made her way back to the viewing booth. Her mind was racing as she anxiously pondered what in the world she had just gotten herself into. Ooh, okay. I know it's a little early to end the episode, but I think that's a good cutoff place, so I'll see you all around.